Hey, this is a preamble to the power conversion video. One of the astute viewers asked me a question. How can we be using a 5-volt power supply with a 5-volt voltage regulator? So you have to have some overhead for the regulator to step down to. In my case, that didn't exist. So how did I get 5 volts on the RC2014 bus using a 5-volt regulator and a 5-volt power supply? Well, I solved that mystery and I'll answer it as you watch this video.
Hey guys, in this episode we are going to convert our RC2014 from using the 5 volt power driven by the USB on the FTDI interface, the serial interface, and we are going to convert the standard bus to use a DC barrel jack so that we can get power from a wall wart. This should allow us to source more current and be able to add additional boards if we want to. All right, with that, stay tuned. It's going to be a quick video. It's pretty easy to do, so stay tuned.
Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is obviously put on the lowest pieces, and there's really no low pieces. That's just what you do when you start to solder something. So really what we've got is an LM7805. This is a voltage regulator. We've got a barrel jack. This barrel jack I selected because I have a whole bunch of wall warts that I picked up at a ham fest. I think they're 5 volts 1 amp out, and this is known as a 5.5 times 2.1 plug. They're pretty common. Got like a bag of them. So that's what I'm going to use. So let's just go ahead and put it together. One thing we'll do at the end is we'll just use the multimeter and check the continuity on some stuff so I can make sure I get the polarity right when I do add power. There's also something we need to remember in terms of the serial board, and we'll cover that in a few minutes as well. But let's go ahead and do the soldering first. So these parts I had. I don't think that Z80 kits actually send you these parts, but they might have. I just pulled these out of my supply. So the first thing we need is a 10 microfarad cap, and this is the 100. So we'll go ahead and put in the 100. So these are electrolytic, so you want to be careful about the polarity. The white represents negative. So that around, grab some solder, and we'll just quickly solder these together. I actually save these little pieces most of the time. Okay, and then we need a 10 microfarad. That's what this is. And negative needs to be facing that way. Now the only reason you'll do this is if you want to add additional boards, and I don't even know what the limit is. I think that FTDI, if I remember right, it might source like up to 250 milliamps or something like that. I think up on the website it says what it will source. Push that down a little bit more. Okay. Alright, now we will put in the voltage regulator.
So before you add the LM7805, you need to ask yourself, are you going to use a wall wart, a power supply that's greater than at least 7 volts? 7 volts or greater. If that's the case, then you want to add the LM7805. If you've actually got a 5 volt power supply, then you don't need to add the LM7805. Now let me point something out to you that confused me that was on the website. And this is not for the standard bus, but it's the only thing I found. And it says if you are using a regulated 5 volt supply, such as from a USB adapter, simply short the 2 pads shown within the LM7805 footprint. So that's actually why I added the 7805 and should have used an adapter that had a higher voltage. I assume they weren't already shorted, but they were already shorted. So you need to check yours with a multimeter, check for continuity. The two holes are right here. They're in the footprint for it. So what you need to do is, if they're already set, then you're good for 5 volts. You don't even have to add the 7805. However, if you only have a wall wart that's greater than that, or maybe puts out the current that you need, then on the back side, after you have confirmed that they are in fact connected, you're going to need to cut the trace, which is what I did on mine, because I decided to use a larger power supply. I ended up going with a 10-volt wall wart that I had. So you're going to need to cut those traces right there, right here, and then you're going to add your LM7805. Having done that, now everything works great. I got 10 volts into the LM7805 and I got 5 volts out. Thanks to the viewer who pointed that out, by the way.
And the way it goes in is extremely important, because each of these legs represents something different. Normally it's V in, ground, and V out. When you put this in, there's a little hole here, and that actually hole, you want it to line up, and that is so that if you want to, you can screw it down into place. I noticed it moved, but I will put one in, and I'll come back and push it in with my finger from underneath. Yep. And I will finish soldering the legs. Look at that real quick. That looks good. I throw these away. I don't typically have a use for those little pieces, flat pieces. Okay. And then we've got to put in the barrel jack. We want the barrel jack facing out so we can plug it in. And again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to solder one side. Then before I solder the other ones, I'm going to let it cool for a second. Then I'm going to reach over and make sure it's pressed all the way in. Yep. And now I can do the others. Take your time. It's better to get it right than to have to desolder something and fix it. Alright, so I mean, that's as simple as this change was, except you need to remember on your serial card there is up here a jumper set for 5-volt power from FTDI. You must remember to remove that jumper. Otherwise, you probably, well, you certainly could damage the board. I don't actually know what would happen, what the failure state is, but you don't want that. So now what we're going to do is you obviously will still use your FTDI to interface to your computer in this case. But now what we want to do is I want to apply power to this, and I am going to check some things to make sure it's working correct before I put the boards back together. All right. Okay, so now what we want to do is I'm taking my 5-volt wall wart here, and I am going to install it. And I am going to check a few things first. So, on the wall wart itself, most of them have something written on the back telling you if it's the outside of the barrel or the inside of the barrel that's positive. They'll normally have an image, and this one I don't think does. Oh yeah, it does. It's really hard to see. But right there, and I gotta be honest with you, it looks, okay, yeah, I can see it. Man, my eyes are not as good as they used to be. This actually says it'll output 5 volts up to 1 amp, and it looks like the center pin is positive. So we're just gonna double check that. I'm gonna plug it in here. I'm going to move this camera so that you can see what I'm doing. It's probably better for you to see the volt ohm meter. So 1 second. Okay, so I'm back and I have got the volt ohm meter. Let's see, we'll set it up for voltage DC. I will check the outside and the center. And we're getting 5.166 volts, that's fine. So now what we want to do before we apply power, I want to make sure on this board, looks like we're going to use this side camera here, that the center pin on the barrel jack is in fact going to the VN. We'll do that with continuity. When these two touch, make a sound, so that'll tell me it's the same. So VN should be this pin here. Awesome. So that means that the center pin, which is going to be positive, is going to VN. That also means that the outside should be going to ground, which is here. Yep, perfect. Now we can apply power without freaking out about it too much. And we're going to plug it in. Nice. We get a power light. So that should be all we really need to do at this point. We should be able to plug in our boards and be exactly to the same point we were before. Let me go ahead and do that, and then we'll come back and we'll check it to make sure that it still works. Okay. Alrighty, so let's put the last card in. Remember, pin 1 on your board, don't get them wrong. Okay. Yeah, I think that's right. Already seated. Okay. So I've got the FTDI back in place. I've removed this jumper, extremely important. We've checked the power on this and everything looked good. I'm going to apply 5 volts. Hopefully we don't release any magic smoke. Okay. Just checking the temperature on the voltage regulator. They're certainly not the most ideal voltage regulators. The difference, the delta between what you're bringing in and what it's converting or stepping it down to is lost as heat. Okay. All right, so it looks like everything is working. So now what I will do is I will plug in to the FTDI interface. Okay. It's in my computer. I'm going to bring up PuTTY. Okay. Hit reset. Okay, yeah, so it's working. We got CPM. Okay, awesome. Alrighty then, so that was pretty easy to do. You can do it yourself if you want. I'm going to be adding some additional boards to mine, which I will share with you in future videos. And I decided that would probably be a wise thing to do to make sure I don't have any power issues. Who knows, maybe I wouldn't have had them in the first place, but I thought it would be neat to do. It shows people how to modify theirs. It's very simple to do. Anyway, guys, with that, remember, learn something new every day. Like, subscribe, all that other stuff if you want to. All right, guys, take it easy. See you next time.